this one is done. So this is the only stationary window I'm gonna have. This will be the bedroom. So this is the top half of the window that'll be stationary. The bottom parts will be like the rest of my windows. They'll be hinged. I guess you call them casement windows that open. So yeah, man, I was a nervous wreck about putting this guy in. Um, for one, it's a little on the heavy side. It's not um, too heavy where it's not manageable, obviously, but heavy enough to really make me nervous about doing it myself. So I put some legs on here to hold the weight of it, and I put a couple little screws on the back side as stops, so I wouldn't go too far and it roll right on out the window. So with those little adjustments, it's in there. I have caught absolute just nightmares with this oak. Um, I thought it was dry enough, but it was not. I've never used oak before like this, and I don't have a kiln to dry stuff. But when I cut this, I think, I cut them in rounds. I know the rounds just sat out for about a year, but obviously that didn't hardly do any drying. And once the rounds sat, I cut them into mainly probably a little over 2 inches by however many inches wide, and some like 4 inches, just in, I guess, beams, so to speak. And I brought them inside the cabin and just didn't sandwich them, let them, had them spaced out, stacked on the floor. And they sat there for months before I started using them, because I knew they needed to dry out more. But when I put them up, I mean, they were just gorgeous. Everything, they were all straight and pretty, and the grain in them was gorgeous. And then they started drying in place and just cupping and bowing, and so I have a lot of these. You know, they're cupped like this, which actually turned out to be pretty good. I did put them on an angle, but I can tell when it does rain and water gets up here, water does not come up this way. So what I'm trying to do here is just flatten this out because it's got a little bow in it here and here, because the windows are tight in there. I can hit the windows again, but it's more the casing than the windows. Alright, so this one here is fitting pretty plumb. It's nice. This one is just fitting in there now. It's still tight, but it needs to go. I need to torque it clockwise, which I have a little gap down here to accommodate this end moving. I have zero room up here. This is really tight. So what I need to do is trim some more out on the top half of this. It probably wouldn't hurt to take a couple of full runs, but this down here actually has a little bit of gap. This is very tight. So there's a gap here, so about halfway up is where I'm tight. So I'm going to take it off of this right here. I might even run a couple passes over this. I'm going to see what my reveal looks like on the outside. I have a good bit more gap on the outside in the middle. So I'm going to trim some of this edge here. I'm going to do some of this half. And then some of on this side. we got it fit in there. It's snug right here in the middle. The outside has a pretty decent reveal between the two all the way down. The inside's it's a little tight right here, which I'm okay with at this point. I'm gonna go ahead and mark the hinges. I got them shimmed. It looks like they're pretty level with each other. So I'm gonna go ahead and mark my hinges, and then mark my holes on the casing for where the hinges go, and then hang them. However they're tight or whatever, after I hang them, I can sand and whatnot while they're hanging, and work on getting them fit properly. Can I keep it still long enough? Alright, this is the same as the other window, except not quite as tight. So I'm still going to have to do some sanding and probably rounding some of these squared edges off so they can I can close the inside one and then close this other one. See, I still have to push it in a little bit. But once I get my trim up, I won't be able to push it. So, but I'm happy with the fit. Alright, so my two larger windows, this window and then the back bedroom window, actually I mismeasured. So my windows are, I think what happened is I didn't account for that, or I accounted too much for that 1 inch gap between them. So I set up both my windows. If I make them flush to fit in here in the casement, then they fit butt to butt like that. But I wanted the offset in it so they fit like that, right? And I think what happened on these, it looks like I accommodated twice for that. Instead of a ½ inch on each one, looks like I did 1 inch on each one. So I'm gonna have to, I made some ½ inch spacers to make up a 1 inch difference, and we're gonna see how that works. So I shouldn't have to do a lot of cutting and sanding and all that to fit on these. Maybe if if they got some wave in them, or just some light stuff at the end, maybe. Hopefully. Alright, so I got these trimmed down. Went down to 3/8 with them. I also did a little trimming. I had a little hump on the casing, and I trimmed a little bit of the window. It was really tight at the corner here and the bottom down here. So we'll see where we are now. I had you set up outside where the lighting was better looking in, but we have our typical summer potluck rain pop up, which I don't mind one bit. I just hope it kind of stays cloudy for a little while, and it feels better when these little rain showers pop up, but it only lasts for a little while, and then afterwards is usually brutal. It's humid enough as it is, but then it gets silly humid. Thank you, Lord. Oh. All right. Well, that was almost really bad. All right, well, these actually fit and close properly the way they should. It's a little bit of offset with it. The bottom's hit before the top. So I'll probably use 2 latches since they're tall. A latch at the bottom and a latch at the top. Some of those wedge latches, and they'll actually kind of draw it tight as they latch close, and that should keep them flushed up square with each other. So that's good. This one has some rub on it. So I'll have to do some sanding, which that's not going to be a big deal. That'll be pretty easy to take care of. Good, good. All right. The windows are in. They work. They fit. I put some stripping on the outside so when they close, they have a barrier to close against. And plus too, it helps close up the gaps from the inside, the bottom, and the top. So I like the way they come out. Still need to give everything a good I have so many holes in these casings and stuff. I'm gonna have to putty all that in. A lot of my edges, I'm gonna have to caulk them and fill them in. This oak just moved so much on me, it just started just peeling in places. But it'll be all right. Thank y'all for watching. Let me know what you think, and hit the subscribe button, and we will get there. Thank y'all.